Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look and review of Vaesen the Starter Set. Now, Vaesen's an RPG we're going to be playing in the Mythic North, and this is going to be set in the 19th century. You're going to deal with Nordic mythology in the form of Vaesen. These Vaesen are going to be creatures that can only be seen by certain people or when they want to be seen. And you're going to be, for the most part, going to be solving mysteries. This game is going to be all about the dialogue between the GM or DM and the players. So let's go ahead down to the table here. I'm going to show you what comes in this amazing Free League starter set, and you can decide whether this is going to be the game for you. All right, so we're going to take a look at the Vaesen Starter Set. Now, the Vaesen Starter Set comes with a ton of stuff, and this is going to be set in the Mythic North. So this is going to be set in Nordic mythology in the 19th century. So this is going to be semi-accurate, historically accurate Mythic North here. However, you don't have to go with all the stuff that was happening in that time in the 19th century if you don't want to. This game here is all about the dialogue between the dungeon master and the players. Now, this core book, which, well, it's not a core rules book, it's a light rules book for Vaesen, is something that both the players and the DM should read. It's going to teach you about the Mythic North and the Vaesen. Now, the Vaesen are going to be the different monsters from Mythic North mythology, and they are not able to be seen except for certain specific people and when they want to be. Now, the whole point of this story here is the Vaesen are going a little nuts. They normally follow basic rules, but for some reason they're breaking those rules. And you're going to be trying to figure out mysteries on why these are occurring, and maybe even have to fight off, or which you can't really beat Vaesen very easily or at all. So you're trying to solve the mystery and put the Vaesen to peace or scare them off through different rituals and other things. So you have your player characters. Now this comes with pre-generated characters that you'll play. But these characters have different things that are set up for them. They have their motivation, they have their trauma. So everyone's going to have a little bit of trauma in there that they're going to use to help enrich their character, a dark little secret. You're going to have some attributes and skills, and you're going to use these for later on for roles and stuff. You're going to have some talents that can adjust yours, and you're going to have relationships between the different characters. Now, it comes with pre-generated characters, so you're going to have to develop those with those pre-generated characters for your first game, and then you can design your own character. So you also have making skill tests. So your skill tests are going to be a combination of two different things. And basically what this is, you're going to take a pool of dice, you're going to roll them, and you're looking to roll a 6. The more dice you roll, the more likely you are to get a 6. And each 6 is a success. Sometimes you need more than one success, but a lot of times one will do it. And you're going to take combinations like your agility and physique skills, and you're going to combine that number, and that's going to be what you roll. You could also help your NPCs or your other characters in there with their roles, but that's basically the really quick idea how you do that. You're going to also be able to push your roll. So if you fail, you can push it again, and you can gain a thing called conditions. These conditions can be bad during the game, but some of them you can cure with different methods throughout the game. And you can also get into combat. Now, I will mention that combat in Vaesen is going to be very dangerous. It's not something you normally want to get into, especially with Vaesen, which are near impossible to kill. So, and you might even have the ability at all to kill them. So you're going to be trying to narratively or figure out the mystery, but sometimes you're going to have to get into combat. And combat's going to basically result in giving you conditions or giving the NPC conditions or doing whatever you need to do. Like if you need to, do not necessarily kill the person, but incapacitate them. But anyway, for fighting here, you're going to have zones and range. You're going to basically have your ranged and your close combat. And different weapons will function better, as you can see on this chart, based on your range. You could also have some advantages like ambushing and stuff, and you can try to grapple your enemy. But either way, damage and conditions here result from combat. And the issue with these is you have physical and mental conditions that you can hit. And you are looking to not go over 3 on either of these. If you do, you can end up dying or become incapacitated for the game. And you're going to have to make rolls on your turn to see if you can recover. And your character can die in Vaesen. You don't want to get to that point. So combat is never really a great way of doing it, but sometimes, like I said, you got to do it. You could also have different effects on you, like fear or terrified, and you could do recovery and resting. Now, one of the biggest things with Vaesen is like, oh, a character died. It is very unfortunate when your character dies in Vaesen. However, if there's a nearby NPC, you could take over that character and continue on playing. So a couple different things. In combat, which I didn't mention, there's an initiative system. So this starter set, and I don't think it came with the bag, I added the bag, but it comes with initiative cards. You're going to shuffle these up, the GM or DM is going to, and they're going to hand one each to each player. And sometimes they're going to get 2 if they're fast, and so sometimes the Vaesen will get 2, sometimes you might be able to get 2, but these numbers here are going to determine when your order happens, and you're actually allowed to defer and swap your initiative with another player. So if they're farther along in the initiative line, so like let's say you have a 2 and they have an 8 and you want them to go first, you can always swap that. Now you also have these cool custom dice, but 6-sided dice work with this game, but these are really cool dice, and this is the little burst that you get on the 6th side. We'll go over this guy in a minute because he's one of my favorite things, but we get some other things with this. Now, this wouldn't be a starter set if you didn't get your first session. And this one is The Haunting of the Castle. And here you're going to, the DM's going to go through here, and it's going to basically go through and hold your hand on the first mission. Now, this will even tell you when to roll. However, if the DM feels like you're doing something strange enough, they can get you to roll too. And then you got these pre-generated characters, and the pre-generated characters have little write-ups on them to help you out. So you get a bit of those. And here's another one. You also get a couple of maps to help you out in the game, and these are really, really nicely designed maps here. So this is the one mansion that you can go into, and then you have a double-sided here. So this is the city, Uppsala, that you can go into, and a map of the Mythic North, which is really nice. You also get these, and I think these are actually really cool. So you get some really cool stuff with a starter set that can go beyond just the starter set, because you don't get this with the core rulebook, but you get these really cool player aids that you could hand out in the game here. And then we're going to go over this codex, which I think is amazing here in a second, which is another thing you just get with the starter set here. So here's going to be a letter for the couple letters for the session here, and then we're going to go over my favorite thing. Now you do get sort of a monster manual in some of the books here, but not this nice. This is like a little thing that's called the Codex Occultum, and here Occultum, can't talk today. And in here you're going to have all, not all, but you're going to have a lot of the Vaesen in here, descriptions on them, little flavor text, how to banish them. And this is all because you're members of a society, knowledge that you have access to. So the players can read through this and hand this to each other. So if you run into these things, you can read this book to see what your group has knowledge of. And their art in here is just amazing. And if you like if you like Nordic mythology, this is just a great book just to read in general of all the cool mythic creatures that existed in that culture. Overall, this is amazing. There's a ton of pages to this, so many different mythic creatures in there. Overall, really great. This is like a very good starter set. If you even have a mild idea of wanting to do Vaesen with your RPG group, this is where you want to start. You definitely want to get the starter set because a lot of great content and gets you into your first session, and you can determine whether Vaesen is for you. And if you do, there's a ton of content and a ton of support for Vaesen. Overall, I think this is an amazing RPG, and this is an amazing starter set, and I highly recommend it if you're even mildly thinking about doing it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Vaesen starter set. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot, helps us get more videos out to you all and all that fun stuff. But either way, I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.